Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman met with the media on Saturday to discuss a lot of topics ahead of Notre Dame facing Penn State in the college football playoff semifinals and Orange Bowl. Tyler Horka was in the room for the press conference. We're going to talk about the key things from today's event. Folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. Head over to blueandgold.com for much more coverage of your Fighting Irish. And we would invite you to check out this $1 for 7 days offer over at blueandgold.com. Check out the terms for that, but we would love to have you get all of the premium coverage ahead of this crucial game for the Fighting Irish. Tyler, let's go right to the injury updates because that's something that people really want to talk about. The only update was that Flanagan is out for the college football playoff. And if you're someone who does subscribe to the Blue and Gold website, maybe you took advantage of a previous offer we had. I reported yesterday on the board Flanagan's going to be out. But that was it, which is no news on Love or Cross or anyone else, which is great news, Tyler.
Yeah, on the last part, on those last couple of guys, I took advantage of being able to go into the Notre Dame locker room at the Sugar Bowl in the Superdome after the game. A lot of informal, semi-formal, I would call it, interactions going on there with some of the key guys from that game, RJ Oben, Bo Collins making plays. But Jeremiyah Love was getting ready to exit the stadium, get on the bus, and I stopped him for a little short interaction. And I said, "Hey, man, you good? Like, what happened there?" And he basically told me that it was the same tweak that he felt at USC. Obviously, that didn't end up being too significant because he was able to play. The difference, though, Mike, is he had 3 weeks to recover to play against Indiana. Now he's only got exactly 1 week to recover and play against Penn State. He said he should be good to go. He thinks he's going to be good to go. In the moment, he's being optimistic. We're really going to find out over the next couple of days about Jeremiyah Love. Those other guys, yeah, Howard Cross, I took a video and posted it on social media as well of him walking off the field at the Sugar Bowl with the trophy. If he was really injured, I don't think he would be holding that big of a trophy and exiting the stadium with it. Obviously, he was a part of the post-game ceremony on the stage with Marcus Freeman, Xavier Watts, Riley Leonard, and those guys. There he goes, walking off with that trophy, obviously. I think he's going to be fine as well, kind of like Jeremiyah Love. And it's funny because Howard Cross is the guy that told us a couple of weeks ago, hey, everyone's injured right now. So Notre Dame has 2 games left if they want to win the national championship. I believe those 2 guys are going to be fine. What stinks, though, Mike, is your first point. Cooper Flanagan, a guy who plays a lot of reps for this Notre Dame team, he's out. What does that mean? You're going to see a lot of Mitchell Evans, as you have, and you're going to see even more Eli Raridan than before as well.
Yeah, so like you said, and like Cross said, it's not that Love and Cross are 100%. I mean, this is a banged-up team. This is a byproduct of playing in this many football games. Notre Dame
never played in this many in the entire history of Notre Dame football, right? What it was going to be the 15th game, I think.
Yeah, Notre Dame's 13-1 right now, 12-game winning streak, and they're about to play game number 15 and potentially get to 16. In a school like Texas, Tyler, I mean, they've played one more than Notre Dame has. So, or in Ohio, not Ohio State, they didn't play in the Big Ten championship game, but Penn State's played a game more than Notre Dame. So, kind of an interesting note there. So that's it for the injuries. All good. Obviously not all good, but
yeah, Rocco Spindler is another guy. We had an exchange with Mike Denbrock. I think this was one of the strongest quotes after the game. Me and Kyle Kelly, a recruiting reporter at Blue and Gold, were standing there, and Mike Denbrock said, "Was Rocco 100%? No, not even close. But he was out there playing, and I think you could say that a lot about a lot of Notre Dame players right now."
Yeah, the culture, and Tyler, you've tweeted about this. The culture of this team does feel so strong. Like Notre Dame has wanted very minimal transfer portal distraction, like to limit the distractions and focus about this run, because Notre Dame really does believe that they have a special team, which kind of leads me into my next point or next talking point here. You asked Freeman about Notre Dame grinding it out and Riley Leonard having 90 passing yards, to which Freeman laughed because this is a team, like this is what they are. Anyone who thought that Leonard was going to throw for 250, like what have you been watching all year? Like this is a team that can't just win with offense. They have to do offense, defense, special teams, and outcoach you. So, Freeman talking about that, and your thoughts on that, Horka.
Yeah, and I prefaced the question with the fact that the team that went 15-0 last season and won the national championship won a game against Penn State with 60 passing yards. Like this, it can be done. I think Michigan ran 32 straight times in that game. Like, they weren't even throwing it. At least Riley Leonard, he threw the ball 20 to 25 times in that game, completed around upwards of 70% of his passes. Yeah, like, he's doing what he needs to do. And I think that's the direction Marcus Freeman went with that was, hey, man. And there was another question about Riley Leonard. He said when the game's on the line, he's doing exactly what we need from him to win football games. Isn't that all that matters? I mean, Mike, if it's mid-October and Marcus Freeman always talks about reaching that full potential, right? And it's mid-October and things look a little bleak, you can say, oh, yeah, this is never going to get it done. You said it. They're 13-1. It is getting it done. They're 2 games away from winning a national championship. So the formula is there. And you hit on a really good point right there. The special teams and the coaching. Like, that was the ball game against Georgia. Marcus Freeman outcoached the best coach in college football, and Notre Dame made some special teams plays that changed the course of that game.
There's a guy on our message board. I don't want to throw him under the bus, but he's like, can Notre Dame sustain? Can this be sustained or whatever with the passing attack? Like, can we win? I'm like, they just beat Georgia. What more do you want, like, to prove that they can continue to do this? And the Michigan thing last year, I think you may have said this. I definitely said it. Others said, like, as much as, there's the Connor Stallions thing and whatever, you can have your opinions on that, but Michigan was kind of a blueprint for Notre Dame to win a national title. Like, it's Michigan only had to win 2 games, but still, like, their style of play to just out tough you culture, I think was kind of a blueprint for the Irish.
Completely agree.
Yeah. So I want to move to so the game was delayed due to the tragedy in New Orleans. Freeman didn't really complain about, like, hey, Penn State has 2 more days of preparation than we do, because Notre Dame played on a Thursday. They play again on a Thursday. So today was basically their Monday, right? Notre Dame would usually play on a Saturday, have Sunday, and then press conference Monday. Well, they played on a Thursday, there's Friday, and then press conference today. So, I mean, it's just like a normal game week in South Bend.
What I want to know is, though, the mental toll that happened in New Orleans. Penn State didn't deal with that. I get it. Penn State, you're looking at it in terms of days. Penn State has a couple of days on Notre Dame in terms of when they last played. But Penn State wasn't in New Orleans for a terrorist attack that killed 14 people, 15 including the guy that did all of that. And Notre Dame was right down the road. And then they had to sleep on it an extra night, play that game. The travel was probably crazy. I don't know about the Irish, Mike, but I'm exhausted. I walked through my door. Obviously, the team travels that night, and I traveled the next day. But I didn't get home until, you could call it 3 a.m. this morning, like Saturday morning. I think Notre Dame's a little more rested, like I said, because they got home probably 24 hours before I did. Let's call it that. But yeah, but when it boils down to how long has it been since you last played, Marcus Freeman hit the nail on the head. It's basically like going from a Saturday to a Saturday, and I think that does matter. I think this will feel as normal as it can be for Notre Dame, considering the circumstances.
Ideal? No, I'm not trying to make it be like, oh yeah. But you'd much rather have that time off. But I mean, it's like, going back to the culture of this team for them to, like, if there is a team to be able to continue to rally based on all of the injuries and the terrorist attack and game, like, it is this team. Want to wrap up shouting out Junior Tui Halamaka. We keep talking about culture. Someone who Freeman talked about, as you put in your tweet here, Freeman speculates that there were people in Junior Tui Halamaka's ear telling him to redshirt and transfer, staying the course, keeping the team together. Notre Dame has not had any players enter the transfer portal since it opened for everyone December 9th. And you tweeted Freeman's quote, "The biggest games of the year, this dude is making game-changing plays."
It's incredible because you go back to September, and Marcus Freeman said it, he's number 3 on the depth chart at Viper. Like, you have Jordan Botelho, you have Boubacar Traore. You don't think you're going to see any of Junior Tui Halamaka. You lose both of those guys to season-ending injuries, which is insane. Those are Notre Dame's 2 best pass rushers off the edge. You lost both of them. Junior Tui Halamaka has come in. He's not the same player as those 2 guys. He's not going to be a threat to get to the quarterback every single down. But holy cow, is he playing his butt off, and he's falling on footballs. I go back to what I asked, or when I was in the locker room, I said we were talking to RJ Oben. I asked him specifically, like, okay, yeah, you made a big play, you knocked the football out, but that's only a massive play if somebody falls on that football. Who did? Junior Tui Halamaka. So, and then you know what happened after that, Mike? To go back to the culture of everything, you've probably seen the photos. Tui Halamaka gave the ball to Oben. He said, "This was you, dude," and Oben holds it up. I mean, the culture of this team is absolutely incredible, and Tui Halamaka is probably one of the best representations of that, because he could have, and I don't mean to pick on somebody like Jaden Mickey or anyone that makes this decision, but that's what Marcus Freeman was getting at. Jaden Mickey said, "Hey, I'm going to preserve a year. I'm going to go somewhere else and play football somewhere else." Tui Halamaka was like, "Nah, I'm going to stay here and see what I can do." And now he gets to be a part of moments like you're seeing on the screen right there. It's pretty special.
It's an incredible picture. When I made this graphic, I was like, shout out RJ Oben, dude. Like what he's been through to have that moment makes it all worth it. Folks, hit the thumbs up on this video. More coverage over at blueandgold.com. We'll catch you next time.